Good morning folks, it's Margaret here from Emmy's Orchids, and Ed of Ed's Orchids contacted me regarding the scale, and I've been onto the American Orchid Society website, and Ed believes I've got Bois de Val scale, and you've got to act rapidly because it will infest a lot of my orchids if I'm not careful. And they have little crawlers, and that's how they go from one to another. So this is an exceptionally good website to go and visit. So what I've done this morning, I'll just close this up now. What I've done this morning, I've gone over to the garden centre because I needed a little new pot for this one, and that's that one. This is the next one I got, but the size that I wanted, and we have an expression over here, it's sod's law, the one that you want they don't have. So I've gone and picked up these plastic ones. So these will just have to do. As I say, I've done that this morning, up bright and early. I'll take you down here. Last night I washed the lava rock, I washed the gravel and pea shingle and hydrogen balls. I've got some hydrogen peroxide there, but I don't think I'll need to use that. And the reason being, I've got a bath here of bleach water and a bath of clear water. So as I say, I'm in the garage, and it's so important to have everything clean. As you can see, I've wiped this down, the pots. If you start, it's all in the preparation, so if you start with clean surfaces, then that's the first thing. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to check each plant, going to take them out of the pot, and if need be they will each get a bleach bath. So please bear with me. The American Orchid Society says, well, it recommends that you discard all your potting medium that you've had whilst you've been infested with scale. This is the Yen 24 karat gold, and if you look, I've had it since April 16, and a splitter on the 28th of December 16. And whether if I can just turn around, you'll see where a splitter there, and if we'll just get the magnifying glass. She's not got a brilliant root system, but you see, you can't see anything. Those little bits of white are the part of the mix. I just can't bring it to mind at the moment. It'll come to me in a minute. So that's all. But look. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put her in water here, and just let her soak so I can get some of that bark off her, and then she'll go in the bleach. I knew that word had come back to me. It's perlite. You see, this was the pot that it was in, and already you see some of the roots had attached to the pot. This is why I need to get them done and potted up, because this time of the year you don't want to lose good roots like that. We haven't got many growing weeks left here in England, and I need to get them settled. Now this is the other split piece of this BLC, and as you can see, she's got root tips growing. She's already adhered to the hydrogen balls and some of the bark. So what I'm going to do now is put this piece over here in with that one. Sorry, just to see if I can get rid of some of that bark. And then what I'm going to do, I'll put them both in the bleach bath together, and then choose a pot where they can both go in. Now this is painstaking work. I pulled that off. It was just at the wrong angle. I've got the scissors there. I've taken some bits of roots off there. What I'm trying to look at now are these little nooks and crevices that the scale hide in, and I've got to get the tweezers now to get rid of these little tiny bits of sheaths, because the sheaths wrap round the pseudobulb, and out of the pseudobulbs come the roots. Now in between there's still the sheaths, and that's where they lurk, and then they just come out into the medium and they start the life cycle again. So it is painstaking work, and as you see there, can you just see there, they'll get into any nook and cranny and the cycle starts all over again. So this is painstaking, this bit here, but it's got to be done. You've got to look and check your orchids, and if there's any sign of anything, if you're not sure, and you just be brave, be like I am, just put yourself out there and ask the question. Even though you might think, well, everybody's going to laugh at me, it doesn't matter, because people are out there more knowledgeable than you, and you need to seek their help, and somebody will always come back to you. And then once I've cleaned this one up, it'll go in the bleach, and I'll take you through this process here. I'm going to do the other plants, but I won't, of course, video everything because I'm going to be here quite a while. But if I take you through this one, and then those people who may not be aware of scale, I've asked, one subscriber has asked me, well, you know, you grow your orchids inside, how did they get scale? Well, the simple answer is they came imported with it. Because they're invisible amongst the bark or the medium when you have it. I mean, we all do, well, we should empty your pot, you should check the medium. I do it even if they're in flower, and use the hydrogen peroxide, and hopefully you'll get rid of anything. But you know, these little Turks are so hard to eradicate once you've got them, but please be aware, if you're not careful, they will go through all your collection of orchids if you don't act fast. Now if it'll stay focused, just let me show you what I mean. You see those little 3 bits of white? I'll just pull away and point to it just down in there. Let's go back again, see if you can see it. There we are. Now that is tucked in between the 2 roots, and you can see the sheaths wrapped around the bottom of this pseudobulb, and you see the little white marks there on that other root. This is why it's so difficult to know that sometimes you've got this infestation, because they lurk beneath probably your compost or your medium level. That's why it's so painstaking once you've got an infestation, because you've got to get all this bark off, because you don't want to start with inorganic medium with the organic medium stuck to it, which is infested with scale. You may ask, well, what about those roots that you can't get the bark off? Well, you're going to have to look at that root. See this one here? Ooh, bear with me a minute. This one here has got this big piece of wood on here, and these are quite damaged, these roots are, can you just see? And if I tried to remove this piece here, you'll see that it's already split in there. So this is when you've got to decide. See, there's a little natural break there, and because this root is already damaged, I shall cut it round about that point there. And she may come out with a fewer roots than before, but if I can get rid of the majority of this bark, well, I've got to get rid of it all really. You know, she can go in the bleach, and then she should be free then. So this is after the clean up out of the to try and get the bark off. I've left the hydrogen ball there, and there's one on here. Can you see the damaged root? When they've been in the bleach, I will decide whether or not I shall just cut that tip off back to another area. If we look a little bit closer, just let me get the magnifying glass. You can see some debris on the older root, and I think that's the coconut husk that it came in. But they both now will go into the solution of bleach water, which is nice and tepid. I'll throw them both in now. That's it. And I'll leave them submerged in there while I go and have a cup of coffee and watch the terrible events unfolding in Miami. I hope everybody stays safe there. And then if you just bear with me a minute, I just want to wipe my hand here, and I'll come back to you when I'm ready to pot them up. So this is the rubbish that came out of those two pots, and this is the pot they came out of. Well, one of them came out of this, the other's a slightly bigger pot, and I'm going to try and get them back into one pot. But you see, that's quite a nice size, that one. And if I walk you this way into the kitchen, you'll see the on the cooker here I've got the hydrogen bowls that were in the medium, not adhered to the orchid roots. I've got that on the cooker now, and they're boiling in bleach water. So, but I won't reuse these because, of course, I've got the medium already prepared down there. I can't stress enough about cleanliness when you're having to deal with something like scale, because if you don't get everything clean and scale free, then they'll be back. Look at that. Those new roots are getting a sunburn. So they've been in here 10 minutes now, at least 10 minutes, and we're going to have a coffee and a cup of tea, and then when I've had that, I shall bob them back into the clear water solution and then get them potted up. I can't emphasise enough the painstaking procedure this is, because I shall have to empty all these containers again, wipe everything down before I can start with the next plant. Now this, I've gone down every sheath, not with my gloves on because I needed to feel that I'm getting rid of anything that might be lurking there. I've tried to pick a little bit more of the coconut husk off the roots there, and then I've had to top up this water bath here with some more tepid water because it had gone cold. It's taken me that long, and I've done the same procedure on this one. And this must be a slightly older pseudobulb because can you see the ridges in there? And there lurks little crevices, you see. That's why I had to take my gloves off, even though it's in bleach water. And you can see the bits all in the bleach bath. But therein lies all these little tiny crevices. And even on the new eyes that are appearing there, I've got one, you probably won't be able to see it because it's there. Just the tip of the eye, there's like a little tiniest little gap you could imagine. And I've had to try and get my fingernail just in there to allow enough of this bleach water to penetrate through. So they'll stand in this nice fresh water now, and then I shall come back and just pot them up. Right, it's time to lift them out of the bath here. I'm just going to lay them on this paper towel, and I just have to sit down now while I do this bit. Now the roots will be very soft at the moment, and so I'm gonna have to be very careful. And it's quite awkward when there's when you've only got one hand, because I've got the tablet in the other. So they both look very clean. And let's bring this is the pot. This is what they originally came out of. Well, what one of them did. Now you see, she's got quite a nice root system, that one. So I'm just going to check whether or not I can get them both in together. That one looks as though it'll be fine on that side. And just checking where the eyes are on this one. So this one would have to tuck in there somewhere. So what I'm going to do is just take a minute now to position these two orchids in this pot. I've got some gravel here, which has got hydrogen balls in it. It's got a little bit of pea shingle. I'm going to put some of that at the bottom, and there's the lava rock, which I'll place around the top. So just bear with me. Just bear with me, folks. I'm trying to show you. Now, if I put them both together here, and if I stand up, although they fit in that pot, and you'd think, oh well, there's plenty of room in there, but actually there isn't as much room as if I transfer them over to here. You think, oh well, you're over potting it here, but it just gives that little bit extra room. Oops, bear with me. Just tipped on its side now. It'll just give me that little bit extra room to allow them to grow on, because I don't want to disturb them again. She's nearly fully anchored down there, and if you'll see, that's one cut rhizome and that's the other, and I hold them together. This has just got the gravel and the pea shingle, and what I'm going to do now is place lava rock on the top and see if I can just firm her up for you. Well, if you've managed to stay with me throughout this video, thank you very much. She's had to, because she's in two pieces now, I've had to find the best position for these leaves to sit nicely, so if she does bloom. And I used one of the plastic pots, and I've had to wire her in as well. And oh, sorry, I've just got something on the lens of. And if you'll see under this back pseudobulb here, I've really had to push two huge big pieces of gravel to secure it, so she's not so she's stable in that pot. And like you see, her roots are really hydrated. Well, they're wet through really, aren't they? And looking at the you know, the pseudobulbs, you'd still think there's some little remnants of sheaths on. But am I out of the woods? I don't know. Only time will tell. I shall have to just keep my eye on her. I'm going to separate her out now, and then I'll start all this process over again. I shall clear everything, and I shall reset the baths for them for the next long to go in. And thanks for bearing with me, folks. And as I say, just check your orchids quite regularly, and if you do suspect anything, please take action straight away. So from me to you, have a good day and take care. Bye bye now.